is it true that after TRT, your natural testosterone level doesn't come back to normal, which it used to be?
Yeah, so the interesting thing, right? So someone pulled up a study a while ago. I was talking to someone in a group about this. It was a bit of a debate because the evidence that they were citing was actually what they were citing was correct in terms of what the evidence said, which was that it was some study. I can't remember the study, but they took a group of men, they gave them exogenous testosterone, and they found that after, I think it was 6 to 12 months, all their levels came back 100% of where they were before. And it was basically saying that the argument that the individual was using was that anyone can do a trial of TRT to see if it helps them because it's not going to impact their levels if they stop taking the treatment as per this study. Now, working in the space, we know that 100% of people who use exogenous hormones do not regain 100% of their natural hormone production. It just doesn't happen. If it did, we'd have a whole bunch less guys who previously used testosterone who would be on TRT. We'd have a whole bunch less. Now, yes, a whole bunch of guys, they are using analogs. They are using supraphysiological doses. They are using all these different things, 100%. But there are plenty of guys who've just done test cycles, who've either done a PCT or haven't done a PCT. This study didn't use a PCT. And they have messed up their natural levels because when you do disrupt the HPTA system, when you restart it, it can be compromised. Now, you may not lose 20% of your production. You may not lose 30%. You may only lose 5%. You may lose 10%. But that is still enough that can cause an issue. And if you do that multiple times, you can definitely cause problems. So if you're going to go on TRT or run a cycle for a period, let's say 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, and then you come off either doing a PCT or allowing your production to start naturally, some science will say that there's not going to be any problems doing that. But the reality and the practice of it is that, one, if you have good natural production in the first place, you shouldn't be on TRT, so it's a moot point anyway. But secondly, if you do disrupt your system for a period of time, you have to look at the age-related hormone decline that you have over that period. And I would argue, based on my experience, that the longer that you disrupt your natural production or you disrupt your natural cascade, the more of a detriment that you will have to recovering your basal natural production. Now, I have seen guys who've been on TRT or who've been, permacycling for a decade, and they regain a pretty decent level. There will always be exceptions to the rule, but exceptions do not prove the rule. And the majority of the time, if you do use androgens for an extended period of time, you will cause some degree of negative ramifications to your natural production if and when you choose to restart it.